Hello, I'm Jonathan at Shed Repair, and today I'm going to teach you how to install a set of double wooden shed doors. The door I'm installing today is one that you can purchase on our website at shedrepair.net, but the instructions I'll be showing you could be applied to other wooden shed doors as well. Here are the tools that you'll need for this project. You'll need some type of a knife or box cutter to unpackage it. There's going to be some trim adjustments needed for the trim that goes around the door, so you'll need some type of saw. You'll need probably a speed square and a pencil and a tape measure for that. You'll need a screw gun with number 2 square drive bit for the different fasteners. You'll need a drill with a 5/16 drill bit, and then you're going to need a vice grip and Allen wrench set to do some adjustments to the hardware at the end. For the double door installation, I would approximate that it's going to take you between 1 and 2 hours to do the work. When purchasing a set of doors from shedrepair.net, it comes with a hardware kit that will have all the hardware and fasteners you need for the installation. This is everything that the hardware kit includes. Here's the hardware that you'll need for this project. We have the 6 decorative gate hinges, which we'll be installing on the door here shortly. Those are 12-inch hinges. We have the L-handled latch, that's the exterior one, and then this is the interior part, that D-shaped latch that goes on the inside. We have 2 spring action barrel bolts that mount to the inside on the left door then. We got some bumpers, and we got a bag of 1.5" by number 8 screws, and we got a bag of 2.5" by number 8 screws. Okay, let's unbox this door and we'll do the hardware installation. So the wider trim here is the perimeter trim that the doors will mount to, so we'll set that aside for later. And then this is the jam trim that gets installed on the inside of the opening then. So I'll just set this off to the side for now. Lay these doors out so I can put the hinges on them. All the holes for the hardware are already pre-drilled, so it's going to make it easy to install. Alright, now I just have to install the latch yet. Alright, that looks good. I just got the 2 inside barrel bolts to install on the left door yet. Alright, I think all the hardware is installed on the doors that we need for now. I think we're ready to go install them. Okay, before we get started installing the doors, I want to talk about the opening a bit. This is just a mock-up that we set up here in our shop, but you will note that the wall sheathing here comes up flush with the opening. That is an important note because the thickness of this wall sheathing plus the thickness of the trim that I'll be installing on the opening equals the thickness of the portion of the door that actually overlaps the floor. So these doors are designed to overlap the floor at the bottom, and the portion that does that is a total of around 1 inch thick. So you want that thickness to equal the thickness of your siding plus the trim on the around the door that gets installed to the outside where the door installs to. So I just wanted to make a quick note of that. That is a detail that is very important, otherwise you might have issues with your doors closing properly against your opening. I think I'm going to do all my cutting first. This is the jam trim that goes around the inside of the opening, and then this is the perimeter trim that the doors mount to. But if I make all my cuts now, I can just go ahead and install it quickly. So I'll do that right away. So I have a 60-inch opening. The doors are 60 inches wide, so they'll actually mount flush with this opening. For a height, I have 71.25. On the outside, my door is 72 inches, so that allows for the door to lap down over the bottom a bit. So I have 71.25 high, I have 60 inches wide, So I'll cut my first trim here. That's going to get installed on the top of the opening to 60 inches. That one looks like it's already actually pre-cut to the correct measurement. So I should be good there. And then I just need to cut these at 71 1/4 minus 3/4 inch, which is the thickness of the trim. So that gives me 70 1/2. All right, I'll set this aside. That'll get installed after the doors are hung. This is the top piece of trim that goes above the doors. It's got a 12 degree angle on the ends. That one should be pre-cut to the correct length, so I don't have to worry about that. Now all I have to do is measure for my mounting trim here yet. And these should be cut roughly about the correct measurement as well. So yes, they are exactly 3 inches longer than the doors, so that's going to work out just fine. So I can just go ahead and get these mounted right away. Like I said, they will get installed flush with the opening. Whoops, caught that one just in time. And the same screws I'm using for my hinges were also sent along. There's plenty of sent along, so I can use them as well for my mounting trim. So I'll just go ahead and put a couple screws in here to hold it temporarily, so that I can then square my opening before I finish fastening it all. So just one screw top and bottom for now. Now I'm going to want to check my width just to make sure that's correct. I should have exactly 60 inches, top and bottom. It's looking pretty good. Now the only other thing I have to do is make sure the opening is square. All right, so that's about perfect. So these doors should hang very nicely in this opening. I'm going to go ahead and mount the doors. So I'll just start by putting one door up there. Try to balance it on my foot here. It always helps to have a friend or somebody to hold the door for you. You want to keep the top of the door about 1/8 to 1/4 inch down from the top of your mounting trim. And I'll put my first screw in. Put one in down here for now. Get my other door mounted right away. Same way here, I'm going to keep the door down from my trim about 1/4 inch. I can always make minor adjustments in a little bit here yet. I see that the doors aren't quite lining up in the middle yet, so I'm going to want to just adjust the bottom over a little bit of this right door. And I'm going to adjust this down a little bit. The goal is to have the doors lining up in the middle, same height. So that's about right. All right, that's looking a lot better. Doors are lining up top. Crack in the middle is about the same the whole way down. So that gives me all I need to go ahead and finish fastening these hinges. And I can also finish fastening the mounting trim. Oh, I did forget one thing here. This shed bumper works well to mount it on the middle hinge. That way if the wind blows the door open, it doesn't crash against the wall. I can just center this out. Should be about right. That good. All right, I think we are ready to move to the inside, and I'll show you how to make the adjustments on the latches and the doors so that they're closing properly. Okay, I think we're ready to install the jamb trim. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my top piece here. This is the thicker of the 3 pieces, and it's also the shortest piece. All right, perfect. So again, this jamb trim creates a surface for the doors to close against. So you want to make sure that it's flush with your framing or wherever the door is closing. In this case, it's the framing. Side trim is cut to length. All right, that's great. There's plenty of these 1.5" screws that are sent along, so I could use as many as I want. But it works good to space the screws out about every foot or 16 inches. I think that'll do it for the jamb trim. Next thing is we just got to make sure our locks are going to be working properly. So we're going to have to drill a hole there so that thing works, and then as well as down at the bottom here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark on my header here. Try to get as accurate as I can. All right, that should do it. Again, this is a 1/2 inch drill bit. See how that works? That works pretty good. Up. All right. One thing you could do if you wanted to add a little bit more strength there, you could add another piece of trim so that this thing has more to sink its teeth into there. I think for the sake of this video, I think I'm just going to let that. All right, the only other thing we need to do yet is make sure the latch is working properly. All right, so that's actually about what you want. You just want it snug, but functional. So if I would have to, I could make a minor adjustment there to the Allen wrench, or the Allen key there with my Allen wrench, but that's gonna be great. Now, the last adjustment you might have to do is to the straightening hardware here that's installed on the door. So if you see that the door is, one of these doors, for example, this one, if it would be pushed out at the bottom, all I would have to do is tighten the bolt here, and it actually pulls the door together, pulling this in. If it would be pushed out at the top, I could tighten this and it would pull it in. It's a handy feature to have even down the road. With wood, you always see some warping over time, so it's always nice to have this hardware installed. I just want to note here again that this latch comes with a key, so that makes it nice if you want to keep stuff secure. These doors come primed from the factory, so we do recommend that they, get painted within 6 months of them being installed. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Thank you for watching this installation video. If you're interested in purchasing any shed doors or hardware kits, you can go to our website at shedrepair.net. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.